So we know that Greta is autistic and sometimes mute based on, I guess, how she's feeling. But today we discovered that she's also not just an idiot, but a liar. You see, I don't know if you heard, they've set out with like 50 ships on the biggest flotilla thing to ever take over Gaza, save the city from the famine, come after Israel, yada, 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 yada. What we would call, to civilized normal brains, a PR stunt. Anyways, apparently last night, their ship was attacked. Now, if you all remember, a few days ago, the ship set out. They set out to take over the world, and then there was a storm. And the storm with all the rain made her very, very scared. So they had to go back. Because obviously these like 50 ships that have come to save Gaza can't do it if there's any sort of danger to them, because that would be so bad. And maybe something would happen to them because obviously they're such strong warriors, really ready to do everything in their power to defend these people, except for get wet or maybe put a little bit in danger. And by the way, the fact that they're so afraid of being put into danger just shows how they all know inside that the IDF is just so moral, because they know for a fact the IDF isn't going to shoot them, the IDF isn't going to do anything to them, and more important, the IDF isn't going to allow them to go into Gaza. So they're basically being saved by the IDF, and that's the only reason they feel any sort of security to do this. But yesterday, apparently a fire happened on one of the ships, a little fire, and it happened because of a drone. A drone. Now, wow, that's so intense. That's such a big deal. Maybe it was Israel flying drones at these ships. A drone? A drone on a flotilla? Oh my goodness. But there's a few issues with this story. Number one, when they docked in Tunisia said they checked their airspace and there was no drone. Surprise, surprise. Number two, let's say there was a drone attack. It was probably actually the Houthis and not Israel, because the Houthis are the one who attack ships with drones, and that's not really how Israel does anything. So that's number two. Number three, the biggest problem with this is, you will remember the story of the boy who cried wolf. You remember that idea of like when somebody comes out and does something and they're lying, and then they're caught lying again, and then they're caught lying again, and then they're caught lying again, and then they're caught lying again. You stop believing them. Well, when you make an entire ship that is just one big PR stunt, then it's not a big surprise when you do a PR stunt. Like, oh my God, our ship has been attacked, insinuating Israel has come after them. Tunisia's like, no, it was a malfunction on the ship, which caused a fire, because these idiots probably have no idea how to run or man a ship. And the amount of resources that they've spent going to Gaza in these 50 ships, I mean, all of that money is probably just being spent on the ships itself and not on the actual management and maintenance. And I'm willing to bet that none of them have any idea how to sail or do anything along those lines, even though Greta's famous for not taking planes because she cares so much about the energy of the world. We'll talk about sea pollution another time. Conversation for a different time. Anyways, so this ship apparently has been attacked by a drone, and la-di-da, everyone's panicking and freaking out, and who, my lord? And at the end of the day, I'm willing to put my money down. No drone. And if it was a drone, it was Houthis, but there was no drone. This is just another PR way for them to gain publicity. Oh my gosh. And actually, potentially, maybe even another excuse for them to not set sail, because they're very scared. Because they're such scaredy cats. So scary. So scary. The IDF might get to them. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Anyways, as you all know, my opinion on this whole thing is, let's just let them into Gaza. Send the ships. Send them. Let Hamas do whatever it wants to do to Susan Saradon, who's there to save the world. One of the hardest people in the world to listen to ever, and the actors from Game of Thrones and the ex-mayors that are on these ships, etc. But here's another thing that I heard about these ships, which actually just, it made my day. And I don't have the video. I wish I had it. Maybe I'll try and find it and do another video on it another time. But apparently an Israeli took, or a Zionist, I'm not sure which one, took his boat to the ships and has been playing all night long loud Israeli music at the flotillas. And if that, my friends, isn't the correct answer to dealing with our unfortunate enemies like Greta Thunberg, then I don't know what is. Israelis, Jewish people, Zionists, once again showing that it is through wit and courage and unique thinking that we defeat our enemies instead of through PR stunts. And Greta, once again, I have to say, a huge, huge thank you for providing me with entertaining content, because I just, the idea of you sitting and watching a fire on your boat and thinking, oh my God, we're being attacked by drones. It makes my day. It absolutely makes my day, even though probably the chances are that you set the fire yourself because you wanted some content, because you realize that there's no media coverage of your ship because no one gives a flying shit about you anymore, or about actually helping the Palestinians. Because if anyone cared about helping the Palestinians, we all know what they would do. They would just eradicate Hamas. They just want more PR against Israel, and that's what you're doing. You're doing it wonderfully. So again, thank you. And just a little bit of advice. When you do get off the ship, you need a new hairdresser. You're very welcome. And I say this as somebody who has stupendous hair. We'll speak soon.